How we doing? This is Rob Foster with RBF Fitness and Nutrition. Public speaking is the number one fear in the world. I started a business during the recession in 2009 here in the US. People upgrade their iPhones, they upgrade their Androids, they upgrade their laptops, but they're operating with the same brain that they operated with for the last decade. You should know the value that you bring to the marketplace. You know what your passion is. You know why you do what you do. So racism, it's out there, but it doesn't have to stop you. Just because somebody might look at you a certain way, that doesn't have to stop your forward progress. I mentor people with master's degrees, with PhDs, and I help people who have been in business for a long time. I deal with the nutrition store maybe a half mile away from my facility, and we cross promote. We help out to give our clients what they need. That's where you have to eliminate the excuses. You got to make that game plan. Say, for me to get to that point. Good morning, everyone, and here we are, first episode in 2021. This is episode number 32 of Shut Up and Grind with yours truly, Robert B. Foster. So it's just me today, no guests, and we're going to dive into 2021. But before we talk about 2021, what did we learn from 2020? That is the question. So for me, coming out of 2019, I had lots of things that I was going to accomplish in 2020. And I had my game plan. Come January, I'm like, all right, it's game on. Put that plan in motion. Things started coming back my way in a positive fashion. And then all hell broke loose. And so what that moment taught me was that my life wasn't in my hands. So once the gym got shut down and everything went on lockdown, I was like, wow, I'm really not in control of what I do. And so I knew at that moment I had to put things into place that can't be taken away from me. And so I want to know, what things did you learn? So what are your biggest takeaways from 2020? I mean, outside of, people who lost loved ones. I mean, obviously that's something that's a completely different level. I'm just talking about in your personal and professional lives, what takeaways really stuck with you from 2020, and how are you going to use those takeaways to make sure it doesn't happen again moving forward in any other year, not just this one? So again, for me, starting this podcast was one of the first steps, because growing up, I've always wanted to be a speaker. Like I wanted to be on TV, I wanted to be on stages and all that good stuff. So at least doing this here is I control it. I control how often you guys get to choose to listen to me, right? So if I want to come on 5 times a day, I can. If I want to come in just at night, if I want to do late night, I'm totally in control of when I broadcast this. So even if you get on TV, you're at their mercy, or anything else, you're at their mercy. This, I control this. So even if one platform gets shut down, I can just record videos all day long and then put it out there when I can put it out there. So like that was my thing, is like, I don't want anybody else controlling what I'm able to do. And that was my biggest takeaway coming out of coming into 2020, really. So from 2019, like I thought I had everything all set. I'm taking charge of my life, and then bam, smacked in the face. So I'm not getting smacked in the face anymore. So I'm going to set up my business and my everything I do in my life to make sure it's pandemic proof, it's smacked in the face proof, right? Because it's not happening ever again, right? So for you, no matter what it is that you want to accomplish, whether it's a weight goal, whether it's a money goal, whether it's a life goal, relationship goal, it doesn't matter what the goal is. You have to start with a vision. And if you've listened to this podcast on a regular basis, I say that in almost every single one, because it's the most important step. And with TV and social media and everything else, it's like we want the next greatest thing. Like we want the next greatest thing that can give me immediate results. There is no next great thing that's going to give you immediate results. It starts with clarity of vision. If you don't have the clarity of vision, whatever next thing you get, you're not going to see it through because you don't have the clarity of vision. So it doesn't matter what program you join, doesn't matter what supplement you buy or what new business venture you start. None of it's going to work if you don't have that clarity of vision. And so how is that different from setting a goal? So setting a goal is I can say, okay, in the next 60 days, I'm going to lose 10 pounds because I have a track meet coming up. So going by the SMART method, specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timely, that fits that model. So you can say, yeah, you know what? I just did the right thing. I just set a SMART goal. But then there's no action behind it. And why is there no action behind it is because, people will say, oh, well, I'm not motivated, but I'll get to that later because motivation is the biggest crock of crap out there. But it's because you don't have the clarity of vision. Okay. It has nothing to do with motivation. So what I mean by clarity of vision is let's go back to 2018 when I really got back deep into track and field. And the way I practiced, the way I trained to win. It was like, I don't train to just say, oh, I'm in my 40s and I can still do it. I'm so grateful. No, I don't go on grateful. Everything I do to succeed. And so going into those meets, I went in with a certain precision of what I wanted to accomplish and how I was going to attack it. And I did it. So ever since I got back into track and field after my knee injury in 2016, I've been undefeated in the high jump and in the long jump. And I'm not just saying that to say, oh, I won. It's just because of the preparation of the work that goes into maintaining that level of competition. And so before each meet, I sit down, put my music on, and I just visualize. I just visualize the outcome before it even starts. And then by the time I get up on that runway, it's game over already because I already saw the outcome that I wanted. And then I trained the body to be strong enough to handle that outcome. So whatever it is you want to accomplish in your life, it has to start with that clarity of vision. What do you want? Why do you want it? How do you feel currently not having it? How will your life change once you get it? Right? You answer those 4 questions. Those are going to be the answers to those is what's going to drive your actions. Has nothing to do with motivation, right? So once you have those things dialed in firmly, that's when you're going to take action on the actual goal. Because if you just say, I just want to lose some weight and get healthy, like everybody says that. Like I can tell you out of probably about 2,500 waivers, maybe 2,475 of them under goal is lose weight, tone up, be healthy. It's like they're vague goals. So people that give vague goals will take vague action and you'll get subpar results. That's how that works. So people that have clear goals with a clear why, and you can actually see it. You can sit down, you can picture yourself putting those clothes on that don't fit, that haven't fit in a decade. And how does that make you feel? You got to see it, you got to feel it. So once you have those 2, next, you're going to be more inclined to take the actions, not just when life is good for you. Because whenever people say that, I don't even listen to them anymore because it's either you want it or you do not want it. It's not like, well, I want it when the sun is shining, when it's 70 degrees outside, when the right music is playing, when my friends are going to go to the gym with me at the same time. All of that, if you need all of that, you are not committed because you have to be committed. It's like people are more committed to go to a job that they hate just because it pays them versus this is the one place you have to live. You have one body. And I can care less about how the body looks. I'm concerned about what the body can do and how healthy the body is. So how you want it to look, that's up to you. I focus on getting people healthy and getting your body strong and getting your endurance to where it's unbreakable. And no matter what it is you set out to do, that you are physically and mentally strong enough to make it happen. So if you focus on those 2 avenues, the physical attributes that you want will just naturally happen based on your metabolism. So if I decide that I want to lose 2 inches on my waistline, I don't start taking measurements every day and weighing myself every day. I start moving more, eating better, and you just crush your goals, you crush your workouts, you start doing things that you don't normally do, and then you do that for 6 to 8 weeks, again depending on your body and your metabolism. You're going to have that desired goal. But if you're just so focused on, I want to lose weight, 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 and then you get on the scale and it doesn't tell you what you think it should tell you, and then you get thrown off course. But when you focus on performance is ongoing. So I'm 46 years old now, and I can still do a lot of the things I could do at 26 years old. And it's because I keep working at it and I keep working at it. Right. So, yeah, weight can fluctuate, but performance doesn't stop. I mean, yeah, I might need to recover more now because I'm older, but there's still things that I can do because I never let it die. And so that's what having clarity of vision does for you. Because if you're one that, yeah, we know when I'm focused, I can lose weight, but then you lose focus again. So, and then you end up gaining weight, and then you come back again. You get focused. And you lose weight again, but then you gain weight again. Like, it's a vicious cycle. If you just focus on lifestyle changes, that's when you're going to reach your goal. And then that's when you're going to maintain your goal. Because contrary to what people tell you, maintenance is the easy part. Everyone always says maintenance is the hard part. It's really not. Maintenance is easy. Losing weight is the hard part, right? And watching yourself lose yourself is the hard part. Easy part is maintenance. So if you can sacrifice, if you can go double time with your effort and your focus, and I think I said effort already. Yeah. So your effort and your focus, if you can go double time for like 6 to 8 weeks, you're going to completely change what your body's capabilities are. You're going to improve your metabolism. You're going to have more energy. You'll be down a few pounds and inches, and you're going to be feeling great. Why would you want to lose that? That's what I don't understand. Like, that should be what fuels you. All of the other stuff is nonsense. So if you go in the gym and the radio's broken, that doesn't mean your work ethic changes. So when you're focused on that goal, you just do what's necessary whenever it's necessary. So if the only time in your day that you can train is at 6 a.m, but you're not a morning person, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to get in the best shape of your life, or do you want to friggin' sleep? You have a choice to make. And that is an excuse. And one thing that drives me insane is when people say, oh, it's not an excuse, it's fact. Nobody cares about your facts. Nobody cares about that. It's either you want to get it done or you do not want to get it done. So if we tell you, you know what, you got to drink at least half your body weight in ounces of water. Oh, well, I don't drink water. Okay, then why are you here? It's like, why are you listening to this? Like, don't hire a professional and then not listen to what the professional has to say. Like, we're here to guide you. We're not here to just give you a bunch of stuff just because, to make us sound smart. We give you the blueprint to what works. Not to mention, your body needs water. Like, here in my house right now, all I have up there is water. There's no other options. So, like, when people say, oh, well, my kids won't drink water. Okay, who does the shopping? Right? The shopping is you. So the options I give them are water. If we go out to eat, I'll let them get other stuff. But here in the house, I make sure that they drink enough water per day, because that's what they need. I could care less what they want. When you go after what you want, you end up with what you don't need. All right. So let that sink in. Right. So food, we idolize food, and we idolize food way too much. Way, way, way too much. Because anyone that indulges never feels good about it afterwards. It might feel good during, as you're satisfying your taste buds, but then you walk around the rest of the day feeling bloated, and the next day, and you guys all know that's true. No one's ever like, wow, you know what? I'm so glad I ate all that yesterday. Like so, it's up to you to learn to switch that thinking and say, all right, I'm going to enjoy what I want to enjoy, but I don't have to gorge myself. And if you have an issue with gorging yourself, then you have to take steps before that meal period to make sure that you don't. Whether it's drinking a protein shake before, drink a bottle of water before, eat up salads before you even get there. Because once you get there and you see all the good stuff, you're not going to eat the salad, even if it's there. So have a salad and some water before you even leave to go eat. You have to take those steps. And I want to address peer pressure for a second too, because one part in my coaching program is assessing your support system, because that part is huge. Because if your support system is not on board with you, meaning if they're encouraging you to veer off course of what you actually want to do, then you need to not discuss your goals and your vision with them, because those people don't have your best interests at heart. And then that kind of tells you what kind of friend they actually are. So if you have people in your circle that are supportive of you, then by all means, you want to lean into those people. But if you're sitting there, you're like, oh, I'm really not feeling a salad today. And someone's like, just get the burger. It's not going to kill you. That's not somebody you need to be dining out with. You want someone that's going to encourage what you really want. Because we're all human. We all get tempted. We all do. So it's just a matter of, what, that cheesecake looks really good, but I like the way my pants fit. So I'm gonna pass. I'll take the bill. So like that's a conversation that you have to have with yourself. And I want you guys to get these two words out of your system. Good enough. Stop it with the good enough. Right? I don't want to be good enough. I want to dominate. And when you want to dominate, you have to be willing to do what other people won't. That's how you get to dominate. And it's in life, it's in sports, doesn't matter. Like I go back to when I used to be a cook, and other cooks used to get on my case because my cleaning was super, super thorough. And again, I could care less about what other people do. Like I'm not one of those people that say, oh, well, they don't do it, so I'm not going to do it. Like that's not how I roll. That's not how I'm wired. It's like, okay, so if they don't do it and if I do it, that just makes me look better. So when it comes time for raises and promotions and whatever else, I'm going to be the undeniable choice because I'm going to be so good that nobody else has a chance. And you have to take that in every facet. So if your goal is fitness, you have to be that convicted with it to make it work. As I said before, it has nothing to do with motivation, music, my spouse isn't involved, or I have kids. Like, yeah, you and billions of other people have kids. So we got to knock it off with the excuses. And with the gyms being shut down, have people say, oh, well, virtual classes just don't work for me. So staying at home, gaining weight, losing energy, losing your muscle, that's a better option than taking a class at home for a few weeks. It's like, come on, we got to stop it with that, because everybody is stronger than that. If you're taking the time to listen to this, you are stronger than that. Don't be part of the 98% and just blindly follow what the rest of the herd does. Be in that 2%. Be in that 2% that's going to rise above whatever is thrown in front of them. And that's why the name of this podcast is Shut Up and Grind, because life is going to throw you curveballs. But let me tell you something. I watch baseball players hit curveballs out of the park every baseball season. And I'm not even a fan of the sport. But they can be hit out of the park as well. So we got to stop with the pity party and saying, woe is me, this is happening to me. I can't get my stuff together because of XYZ. And that might sound harsh, but it's a harsh reality. It's a harsh reality. And I went through all of this. I went through it all. Like I've been rock bottom. I've had my car repossessed. I had foreclosure on my house. I was sitting there thinking, what the hell am I? Why is this happening to me? Like I'm this, I'm that. Like, why is this happening to me? And then it's like, why am I allowing this to happen to me? Not why is this happening to me? Why am I allowing it? Why am I not fighting back? Like, that's not how I was raised. I wasn't brought up to sit there and let life dictate to me what my path is. But yet, for that moment, I was allowing it to happen. And it was up to me to decide it's not going to happen anymore. Like how I started this with coming into 2020, after watching my dad take his last breath, I was like, you know what? I gotta get this going. Like, I gotta become that man that he raised me to be. Said, I have to do it. It's up to me. I can't sit here and wait for somebody else to come and save me. I have to do it. And then I'm taking these steps to make things happen. And so, like I said, I started this podcast. I just got a new location for my PM classes. for my fitness classes, because I'm just having issues growing it in the location where I am. The morning classes are good, but I found a new location for the PM classes. You got to make things happen. Is it ideal being split? No, but you got to do what you got to do. You got to shut up and grind. And so that's what we're doing. And with my coaching program, things aren't real till you get a client. And I actually got my first client. She starts on the 7th, I believe, this week. But it's just a matter of putting in the effort, putting your vision out into the world. And this world is full of people who would love to help and connect with you. That's one thing I hear people say all the time, that they feel alone. And if that's you, if you feel alone, you got to put what you're feeling out into the world, because there are other people out there who, been what you've been through and can help get you through it. Or there's someone else out there that can mentor you and help you unpackage all that stuff that's holding you back and help you create a new path forward. So there is no reason for you to be sitting in a dark room saying, I'm all alone. Like, there's nothing else that I can add value to in this life, because everything that you have going on within you, somebody else out there needs to hear it. Just how we all have individual fingerprints, right? Out of all the billions of people on this earth, there's no two people with the same fingerprints, and there's no one else with the same story. Like right now, I can say the word vacation, and to everyone listening, that means something different. For some people, it's sitting on a beach. For some people, it's climbing mountains. For some people, it's driving cross country. For some people, it's leaving the country. Like there's so many different avenues you can take with just the word vacation. You can take the saying family time. Exact same thing. For some people, it's watching a movie. For some people, it's playing sports. Like, it goes on and on and on. And so your personal experiences can help other people. Like I was saying about doing the Spartan Ultra before, I only have one kidney, and doing endurance events can be dangerous if your electrolytes get out of balance, if you get dehydrated, so on and so forth. And so many people, including my primary care doctor, were telling me to not do it. And I said, you know what? I want to find out who has done this with one kidney. And I put it out into the Spartan Ultra Facebook group. 8 people got back to me that have completed it. I picked their brains, put my plan in action, got it done. See what I'm saying? So just because everyone around you is telling you it can't be done, it can't be done, it can't be done, if you got something that you think is a great idea and you want to get it done, you got to put it out there and find someone else who has done it or is thinking that it can also be done. And that's how you're going to dominate the rest of your life, is dropping the excuses, putting all the blame for everything on you. Because once you stop doing this, you're going to start seeing opportunities. So like I said, I could have easily said, oh, well, the government shut down my gym, so I'm this, and that. I said, no, the government shut down my gym, and then I quickly pivoted to a different direction. And many, many gyms sadly have closed when they really didn't have to. Like, there are other ways to get it done, but just sometimes people just get stuck in their own reality that they won't branch out and realize there's a huge world out there. And there's always someone that can guide you along the way. So before you throw your hands up and just say it can't be done, just know by opening up, you can open up a world of doors. So that's why I created my program, Speak About Yourself Out Loud. And that helps you take the stories you have in your life that you've experienced throughout your lifetime and teach you how to use those to make you a more effective connector, right? Because everybody talks about effective communication. And yes, that's definitely a solid skill to have, but you can be a good communicator, but a bad connector. And when you connect with others, that's when the world opens. So since I started this podcast, I've connected with many people. So this is episode 32 now. So I've connected with, I had one other solo one. So I've connected with 30 other people, and doors are opening left and right on both sides. Like, I had a guest on my show a few weeks ago, and they were on talking about their book, and they were going to write a second book and a third book, which they absolutely should. But I just let them know, no, you really haven't maximized the first book. And I've never written a book, but I know marketing, I know branding, and I know scaling. So you never know where your source of inspiration is going to come from. Just like when I do women's empowerment groups, some people look at me kind of funny because it's like, why is a man doing women's empowerment group? And my response to that is always, empowerment doesn't have only one source that it can come from at all. So if you get your source of inspiration coming from my group, it doesn't matter what my gender is. It matters that I'm able to pour into you and give you the message that you need to receive so that you can move forward. So once we stop putting limitations on ourselves, that's when life is going to be absolutely great. And I mean all limitations. It doesn't matter. Race, sex, gender, what you identify with, like none of that stuff matters. If you got a clear path, the universe is, a clear vision, the universe is going to clear a path for you to see that vision through. So that's all I got for you today. Short one, half an hour. Thank you very much for tuning in. And like I said, take those lessons from 2020, whatever it did to you, write it all down. And then in the next column, write what you learned from it and how you're never going to let that affect you again. And then cast your vision for the next year. And then once you have that vision for the next year, you take daily steps. Daily. We focus too much on 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. Focus on today. Crush today. Then when you wake up tomorrow, crush tomorrow. Then when you wake up on Tuesday, crush Tuesday. And as long as you keep that cycle going, this time next year, you're going to be where you want to be. But just focus on one day at a time. And eliminate all excuses. Every single one. Whatever happens to you, it's your fault. Doesn't matter. If you leave in this traffic, you didn't leave early enough. If you go outside and your tire's flat, you should have figured out it was flat 2 hours ago. Once you put it all on you, you're going to start living your best life. I promise you. So thank you very much again and have a great day.